Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm going to go over my trade on March 1st for AXTI. This is not March 1st, this is March 2nd. Let me scroll over. Here we go, that's better. Okay, so I traded it multiple times. So first I traded it at 938, got filled at 79.3. Okay, so 938, 793. Way up here, of course. Okay, yeah, so I pretty much bought the high on that one. So, great, great buy there. Um, so I ended up selling it at 88 cents on 43. So on this candle, 88 here. So that wasn't a bad sell except the fact that I just held it. Didn't respect my risk. I should have sold it when this candle broke. If I was, or been risking this or VWAP. Let's see what my spreadsheet say. Says cut below 79. It's at the bottom of this candle. No, yeah, see, so basically it was a momentum trade. So basically, if it went against me, I should have cut it, which I didn't do. So I made a profit on that, but I shouldn't have. It was poor trading. Next time I traded it was at 10:04, and I'm Pacific time. That's why these times on the bottom are so early. So 10:04 would be here. 7:03, 70. Sorry, 7:04. Okay. I got filled at 110. Also not a great. Really? Wow. Yeah. Embarrassed to even say that. This dip would have been a nice entry, but that didn't get that for whatever reason. I got here 110 right before the halt. This was a halt, volatility halt. So this opened back up here pretty much for a close. So it didn't even gap, which is kind of strange. Even this was a halt too. This is a weird gap because this one gapped down and it was going up. That usually doesn't happen, but anyway. So I bought it here 110, sold it at 121. That was a great sell. High of 123. Um, so I believe I saw it failing at the near the previous high, and so I got out. So that, aside from chasing it, should have got a better entry down here somewhere. Aside from that, the chasing, that was a pretty good trade. The first one, if I would have had a appropriate risk down here or something, then that would have been a good trade too. But I didn't cut it. So both of those I made a profit on, but they, they weren't. They both had mistakes for sure. Not cutting losses quickly, which I call CLQ, and cut losses quickly, and chasing, which you don't want to chase. You can't get a good risk reward if you're chasing. That's the whole point in it being called a chase. Okay, so now for the fun. The fun part. So we got my next buy is at 11:09, and this is where it all started to go terribly wrong. What is that over here? So I got in at this candle right here. 11:09 would be 8:09 my time, and I got filled at 105. So yeah, uh, risking this dip here, the low $1 whole number, be a key level a lot of the time. So I was risking that. Went up. I added at some point. Added at 110 at 11:13. So here, added at 110 when it broke above this high here. So that was a good add. Then I didn't get out, of course. I added again at 11:30, way over here. Holding consolidation, holding this key level of 106, which I believe is a daily level. I don't even think that one was from a pre-market. Yeah, so let's go find out where this 106 level is for real quick because that's important. So 3 month daily, one must be this one here. 106, yeah. So it is a high from this gap down like almost 3 months ago. Although I don't really see any volume, so a lot of times it can be insignificant without any volume. Let's go back to the 1 minute. All right. Okay. So I had added at 11, what was it? Oh, hold on. 11:13. Oh, 11:30. Had added for the second time. So double down twice. Then 11:59 decided to do it again. Okay, before we even get to that, if you remember correctly, my risk was $1. So I should be out right here. It broke $1. I did not cut. It held this support level perfectly and this low perfectly. So it was really hard for me to sell. So I didn't, I should have. I should have cut it in the 90s and got back in the 90s. That would have been the best thing to do if that's what I decided to do, but I should not have stayed in. I should have cut it, even though I had already added twice. Which at that point it wasn't like an overly large position because I was already trading really small. So it was like a normal. So I shouldn't even had any emotional ties not to cut it as in taking it too big of a loss because it was not even that. I added twice, but it wasn't like a crazy large position or anything. But then when I added again over here at on this stupid breakdown, it actually broke this previous low, this lower, really it's a lower low, but it was barely lower and it was holding this level. So this lower low is still pretty bullish. It's not really that bearish. And I saw it. So this is the 8882 price level. This was a pre-market high, and then there's a pre-market high here at 882 and like one up there at 136. So this one, it kind of uses support, as you can see, until it broke it here, which for some reason I still didn't cut it. I should have definitely cut it there. It popped right back up. So, I was like, okay, it's holding support. And then broke it again and popped back up holding it. So it was basically trading right around there. Uh, okay, so drew this box for consolidation and I drew all these lines. So like already said what these ones were. This it was completely following this trend line right here. So I drew this at some point and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe it just followed this trend line, this downtrend through support, and I still stayed in it because this is like my worst day of trading ever. If you can't get that by all this all this that I'm describing here and by my tone. So right here, I had added again for the third time at 895, consolidating, so then breaks another low here, and I added again here at 26. So it started to perk up. It looked like it was breaking this downtrend. So that actually was bullish, even though it already was so bearish. I should have been, if anything, getting back in, not adding. So I added there for what was that, the fourth time? Yeah, I added way too many times. Let me try again. And then I added one more time. At, oh no, that was the last one. Sorry, that was the last one right there, 226. And then was holding this pre-market line, kind of trading around it, really coiling. And when it broke above this consolidation, boom, straight up into this line here, the 106, which was that daily level that really should have been insignificant because it had like no volume that day. But apparently it was because was resistance here, then support here, and now resistance again. Pretty pretty standard technical analysis there. And then so now I describe some of these lines. Let me take some of these lines off so it's easier to see. So this line, it broke that downtrend. So I don't need that anymore. Remove. And all this is just showing the consolidation. I'm saying it's holding this area for so long. This is so bullish. Like this is bearish. I should have been out here at the very least. And then all this, this is bullish, breaking this consolidation. So I should have been at long here. And then probably when it broke back into the consolidation, I should have been out. So here I should have been out. And then maybe looking for VWAP reclaim since VWAP is so, that's what this is right here, volume weighted average price, VWAP. Maybe if I would have waited for that to reclaim since it's so close to the top of this previous consolidation anyway. But I didn't. It held this support level, which again, bullish, so that didn't make me want to cut it. And I'll just scroll over. New low, still didn't cut. Oh gosh. So this, let me zoom out. Okay, so this is the entire day. Okay, so this is where we're new daily low or new intraday low, and it actually broke this downtrend line, which is almost bullish because it's like a mean inversion. It's like so far now away from VWAP that it's even lower than the downtrend line. But no, it's definitely bearish. So, and this almost lines up perfectly with the tops of it. So once it broke below it, this downtrend line was resistance, just as this one was turned out to kind of be resistance. Although this is the only 2 points, so not really. It just never was able to get above that. So that line's not really important either. But these pre-market, this pre-market 888 level and this daily level, those are definitely were key levels. Definitely glad I had those lines on my chart, but really, really upset that I didn't even pay any attention to them. I saw this line, I saw it dip down here, and never once got an entry that was close to this, even though it entered it, except for my stupid ads. So broke here, chopped around, chopped around, chopped around, chopped around, chopped around, and I'm trading in my IRA. So either I have to hold this overnight or I have to cut it. At this point, it's my biggest loss ever, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm like basically in tears. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Part of my language, like why, I just, I don't even want to exist at that point. So I I cut it because I know cut losses quickly is I broke that like 5 times just on this one trade. So obviously, maybe I didn't know it. I know I do know it, but I also know that it was holding it overnight could make it so much worse, especially since I'm in an IRA, so I can't trade after hours and get out. If it starts panicking after hours or they do an offering or something, I would be I would be screwed. So of course I go and check the filings real quick until they did the offering at like, was it? I think it was 107. Yeah, it was 107. That's what that gap down was for on the daily chart. It gapped down. The offering was at 107, so then the high was 106. It couldn't get above the offering high. That's what this was actually. So that's what makes this a significant level, really, is that's right. That's where right below where the offering was. Um, so that's kind of bearish because who knows if they're gonna do another offering or if they still have shares they can offer, whatever. That gets a little complex. I'm not really a short seller, so I don't look at too much into the offerings as much, but definitely was like, ah man, they did offering recently back in, was that February, December? Within the last few months they did an offering, so I was definitely not holding it overnight. Um, yeah, so that was a trade, my worst trade ever, which really got sparked because of my crappy trade on GBS. GBS. Yeah. Okay, so let's see where that started. Um, must have been somewhere in here. Okay, sold it at 11:11. Obviously, you can tell I didn't trade it well by the time. So I bought it at 10:41 and 10:38. Okay, 10 is 7. 10:38. Oh my gosh. 10:38 at like 1075. So that was pretty much as bad as you could get. Yeah. But I was buying it on the breakout, so you know, it was a good trade, even though it turned out bad. And then I added at 8.8 at 41. So I added here, roughly here, at 8.8. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Just bad trading. Wiped down 10 cents instantly. Didn't want to sell. Maybe more than 10 cents. But anyway, yeah, within like 4 minutes from 38 to 41, I was down 20 cents a share. 107 to 86. You know, that so and I added like an idiot, exactly what you shouldn't do. And then it pretty much held this level, so you know I didn't want to cut. Got all excited here, but it failed at VWAP, which is super bearish. Broke this low at 78. Like I said, I sold at 11.11 or 8.11 for this chart's purposes. At 68.17, if you can believe that. I can barely believe it as I'm reading it off my orders. uh, yeah. So this poor trade is what messed up my psychology for the next one for the that the ATXI I call it ATXI ATXI. Since this was I had too much size, like I for it being a breakout, I shouldn't have had that much size because breakouts can fail quickly and they're not my best setup, so I should have had less size. I also should have cut it, didn't do that, shouldn't have added. Yeah, so I made so many mistakes. And then I went on to trade ATXI at ski, and I traded so poorly. So, I lost like over four times as much on ATSCI as I did here, and this messed up. This is when I messed up my psychology. I only lost, uh, maybe not quite four times, but either way, it was my worst day ever, my biggest loss ever, bigger than my biggest gain ever. So that's really bad. Really ashamed of that. But those are my ATSCI and GBS trades. Leave some comments. Let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully I can make some more trades soon, or more videos about some trades soon. Hopefully I can make some videos of some that I don't make any mistakes for you guys too. Hopefully those will be helpful. But I hope this was helpful. Have a great day. Hope you traded them better than I did.